We're now going to talk about the blood vessels of your arm and your forearm. Okay. Let's start with your arteries. Okay, you see here, this is your left subclavian artery. Right? As we move into the armpit, remember what the axilla is? It's your armpit, right? So this is the left axillary artery. Okay. As we enter into the arm, what is your arm called? What is the anatomical term for your arm? It's brachium, right? So hence the name brachial artery. So this is your left brachial artery. Okay. I'm not gonna try to label at the border between your axillary artery and your brachial artery to try to trick you, right? If I'm looking for axillary artery, I'm gonna label it more close to here, right? And then subclavian artery, I'm gonna label it here. Brachial artery, I would try to label it clearly in the brachial region. Moving further distally, this brachial artery branches into two in your forearm, and that becomes the radial artery and the ulnar artery. And the names should make sense, right? This is your ulna, and this is your radius. And so those arteries are just named according to the bone that they run parallel with. Now let's talk about the veins. Well, the arteries, they always run deep. But the veins can either be deep or they can be superficial. And you'll notice that when it comes to deep veins, those deep veins will share the same name as the artery that they run alongside with. Okay, whereas the superficial veins will have their own independent names. Okay, so that means this one, as we previously learned, this is the left subclavian vein. Okay, and then this goes deep and then becomes the axillary vein. Okay, it runs alongside the axillary artery, and you'll see here it gives off another branch. This is a superficial vein. Okay, and this superficial vein is quite long. This one is called the cephalic vein, or specifically the left cephalic vein. Let me click on this. Why can't I click on this? Oh, somehow I cannot select it. Okay, well, I guess my complete anatomy is running funny again. But this is your left cephalic vein. It continues into your forearm. There we go. Okay. And then moving from your axillary vein, okay, further distally, it continues in here as becomes superficial, right? It branches, and then the main branch becomes superficial, and that superficial vein is known as the basilic vein, or specifically the left basilic vein. And this one, just like the cephalic one, it's also quite long. It continues into your forearm. Okay, and students oftentimes get these two confused. Cephalic is more lateral, basilic is more medial. Okay. And then here around your elbow, this is where it gives off a short branch. This is called the median cubital vein. And this is the most common site where you get your blood drawn, so venipuncture. Okay. And actually these three veins were concerned about them mostly because these are the three most common sites for venipuncture. When you go to the lab to get your blood drawn, the phlebotomist is most likely gonna first take it from the median cubital vein. Okay, if she can, or he can, and they can draw it from basilic vein or cephalic vein. Okay, they're never gonna try to go for the deeper vein. So this one, since it's deep and it runs alongside the brachial artery, okay, this one, guess what its name is? Okay, it's the brachial vein, specifically the left brachial veins. Okay, we've actually got two here, so veins. But why wouldn't we go for that? Well, the reason is because the blood pressure inside artery is quite high. So when you try to go for the deep vein, you are risking puncturing that artery. Okay, if you puncture in the artery, the blood is going to squirt out. Okay, because of the high blood pressure inside. So that's pretty dangerous. That's why when you go to the lab to get your blood drawn, they're only going to stab you superficially to go for the superficial veins. Okay. And then this part where the cephalic branches into another artery, here is the median antebrachial vein. This one, I don't believe it's in your worksheet, but this one you should know. The short branch is called the median cubital vein. Okay, it's important because it's very common site for drawing blood from.